A very good evening to all the participants who are joining us today for this session to learn how you can win full tuition scholarship for USA, India, and Europe through Next Genius Scholarship Program. I am Kajol Shah, Program Manager at the Next Genius Scholarship Program, and I'm very happy to have you all here. Next Genius Scholarship Program was started in 2014, and we are a registered charitable trust in India. We were found with a vision to identify world changers and connect them with outstanding university scholarship. Our founder, Dr. Neeraj Mandhana, believes that in India, students have very high talent, skills, but they lack funds to go abroad and study and fulfill their wish of studying abroad, and that's why we started this undergraduate scholarship program. Today we have two of our scholars joining us today to talk about their experience with you all, to share how did they get to know about the scholarship program, how did they end up winning the scholarship at Next Genius College, and how has their experience been throughout. So firstly, I would like to invite Gyana Srivastav. She is our 2017 scholar to Wheaton College. So I would not like to introduce her. I would like herself to introduce to you all. So over to you, Gyana.
Thank you, Kajol, for such a warm welcome to Next Genius. And hi, everybody. As Kajol mentioned, my name is Gyana Srivastav, and I won the Next Genius Scholarship all the way back in 2016 to get a full tuition scholarship to Wheaton College in Norton, Massachusetts. And I'm here today to just talk about my journey and my experience through the Next Genius process, which started all the way back then, and where I am right now, and what my roles are currently. So I won the Next Genius Scholarship all the way back in 2017, and I decided to go to Wheaton College in Norton, Massachusetts. And I graduated in 2021 with a double major in economics and psychology. And since then, I've been working in Boston, and I currently work as a research assistant in the Division of Clinical Informatics at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, which is a Harvard Medical School affiliated teaching school where I do a lot of healthcare research. I focus mainly on oncology, Alzheimer's, and mental health research to make sure that healthcare is more accessible on a global platform. And it's been a great journey so far. And I can very, with full faith say that my journey and where I am today began because I won the Next Genius Scholarship all the way back in 2016. So just like really quickly talking about my Next Genius journey, uh, I got to know about Next Genius when I was in 11th grade, and I went to school at Cathedral and John Connon in Mumbai. And I heard about it because in 11th grade, my counselor, Mrs. Shukla, had sent us an email blast talking about this an amazing opportunity for people who are aspiring to go to study in the US, about this full tuition scholarship that is available. And I decided that it was worth a shot to see if it was possible for me to at least try. I wasn't sure if I would be able to make it till the very end, but at least it was worth a shot to see where I would end up. And in the process, at least I would learn about the colleges and learn about what's important to me. So I decided to apply through the Next Genius portal and just try my luck to see what happens in the future. And little did I know that my life was about to change from when I made that decision. A few days later, we went through the texting process, and I got an email from NextGenius saying that I made it through the rounds where I get to choose my college applications, decide which school I want to go to from the robust list that NextGenius had for us to offer. And I know that since when I applied, the NextGenius list of colleges has only increased to even bigger font of schools and universities. So I would highly recommend that everybody take a look at the schools and universities you have available and make sure that you're making most of your like the schools and colleges that you're applying to sort of aligned with your interests and what you see your future to look like. So I decided that for me there were a few things that were really important and core values that I wanted in my college journey moving forward, and a few of them were that I wanted to make sure that I was in whatever school I went to, I had the opportunity of sitting down with my professors, having frank conversations, being able to connect with them, asking them feedback when need be. And Wheaton was a perfect combination of that because Wheaton prides itself in being a small liberal arts college. And with that, it provides you with the opportunity of having one-on-one connections with your peers, with your professors, and with the academic journey in itself. Wheaton has like a small student to professor ratio, which really helps you decide what you want to do, which courses you want to pick up, and have the opportunity of talking to your professors before you pick up courses. So that was something that was really important to me, and I wanted to make sure that I had that in my college journey. Along with that, I also wanted to make sure that the school that I go to had a robust psychology and economics program where I could take classes, but also have more application-based like connections and be able to apply the classes I'm taking within some sort of roles there. And Wheaton once again fulfill that for me. Wheaton has a really good psychology and economics program. And along with that, there's enough opportunities for you to use the skills that you're learning in classroom to go into the roles. That was really helpful. In my 4 years at Wheaton, I worked as a peer tutor. I also worked as an economics tutor. And uh, through my psychology background, I was able to work in the nursery, the child nursery that we have in school. So that's something that was really important to me to make sure that it was just not the 4 years of education I was getting, but I was also learning skills that was going to be helpful for me after I graduate, which would be helpful for me in my career moving forward. And we didn't met those goals as well. And one thing I also wanted to bring up was that 11th and 12th grade me had a lot of dreams and aspirations about what I wanted my future to look like. But in many ways, I lacked the skills and guidance of knowing how I could reach those goals. And that's where Next Genius stepped in for me at the time where I was just figuring out what the next steps for me should be and what my life in the future would look like. Next Genius gave me this opportunity to like completely change the track that I had envisioned for myself and start my journey in a college abroad. Right next to the Center of Healthcare in Boston, and experience a whole different life that I didn't think was possible for me. So that's one thing I would highly recommend everybody to think about, that in a few months from now, potentially your life could be changing in a very, very different direction than what it is in right now. And trust me, as someone who's gone through the process, that it only gets better. It only gets better, and it's going to be a really fun journey, and you'll really enjoy the process of just going to school and just enjoying life and learning from life in a very different perspective. And one thing I also wanted to mention is Next Genius is not only a scholarship, it's not only the funding that'll be available to you to get through your school and to get to the university of your dreams, but it's also a community of mentorship. So it doesn't end when you get the scholarship, it only begins when you get the scholarship. In the next 4 years after you win your scholarship, you'll be given all the guidance, all the mentorship, all the counseling you require to go through the 4 years of college to decide on what courses you're thinking of taking. But even more than that, what your future should look like. If you're looking for internships and such, Next Genius is also really helpful when it comes to deciding what internships you're looking for, and even providing you with some. I know that in my sophomore year of college, I did an internship with Next Genius where I had the opportunity of teaching students and meeting with them just to like help out with their applications in the future. So Next Genius does offer you more resources after you join a community. Along with that, Next Genius also has an amazing community and network of students that are previous scholars. And from my experience, I've only found it really helpful to talk to all the Next Genius scholars and ask them for advice and be part of this community. I know that when I joined college, Wheaton College, all the way back in 2017, we already had two previous scholars, Anushka Agrawal and Rishal there. And I was able to ask them for a lot of advice when it comes to just navigating life in a different country and making sure that I knew what courses I should be taking and how I should be setting myself for the future that I envisioned for myself. So I would recommend everybody to reach out to us, reach out to the scholars here. and just like ask us questions. We are more than happy to answer questions for you, to be here for you as you're going through and starting your own journeys at Next Genius. So please make sure that you're actively being part of the Next Genius community, because it has a lot to offer. And when you ask questions, the answers will be provided to you. So just it'll be a great opportunity to just to enjoy that process as well. And to this date, I keep in touch with my Next Genius family. That's the reason I'm here today. And it's been really helpful because even after graduation, I was able to count on the Next Genius family to ask for advice on what I should be doing, what jobs would be a good benefit for me, and how my future should look like after the 4 years of college. So yeah, it's a very enriching experience, and would really recommend everybody to not only take part of the academic part of school and to be there for the maths and the science classes and the English classes you'll be taking in school, but also to actively be involved in the skill and building aspect of college as well. And that's also something I can cover when it comes to Wheaton is along Wheaton is a liberal arts college, so it's not only the major that you decide that you want to go into that you will be pursuing for the 4 years of your college, but with Wheaton, you get to explore a diversity of courses and interests before you decide what your major is going to be. So for the first 2 years at Wheaton, you have the opportunity of exploring your interests, taking classes in English and Spanish if you are interested in a foreign language, and just exploring what meets your background, what you feel will be the best fit for you. And after you've just spend time exploring the courses that are available in this university in the first 2 years, you get to pick your major. And it can also be a major and a minor, and you can also do two majors like I did. So that's the benefit of going to a liberal arts college. You have a lot of flexibility into choosing what your selections on what your specialty should be like. Let's say that from the vast variety of majors and minors, you're not able to select one. I know that Wheaton did offer this. We had an option to build our own independent major, and I know a lot of people who ended up doing that because they wanted to amalgamate like two of the majors that they had. Like I know someone who did economics and maths together and created their own independent major. So that is one benefit of going to a liberal arts college, a lot of flexibility to ensure that you're able to cater your undergraduate journey to meet your needs. So that's something that I would say to keep in mind in the future as you're looking through schools and deciding what you want to do in the future as well. And along with that, I also wanted to mention that Wheaton in general and liberal arts colleges do offer a lot of extracurricular activities, and that is the second aspect of going to school and colleges abroad, or even in India for that matter. It's one part is the academics and the other part is the social life, and kind of delving into the aspect of school and the culture abroad. And we did a really good job of doing that. I was part of a lot of school like colleges that they offered here, clubs that they offered here. I used to teach Bollywood dancing on campus. We also I was part of the South Asian Student Initiative where we hosted a lot of events. We did Diwali on campus, we did Holi on campus. So it does feel like home away from home when you have a community with which you can celebrate all our big festivals in India. So that was really important. We also had clubs like the finance club and the psychology club. So you have the opportunity of delving into your interests. There are also other clubs of things that we might have never tried out before. Like we had archery, and I remember going for a few classes of archery. Didn't end up staying for all 2 years or all 4 years, but it was definitely a great experience to know that they do offer archery. They also offered horseback riding, so there is like a wide variety of things you can try out. So would recommend doing that as well. And one more additional aspect of my college journey that I particularly really enjoyed, and I would truly recommend for anybody interested is studying abroad. So I did go to Wheaton College in Norton, Massachusetts, and I spent my undergraduate journey there. But through Next Genius and through Wheaton College, I was also able to study abroad at the London School of Economics and Political Science in London, United Kingdom, for my junior year of college, where I took a lot of courses in economics and again psychology and behavioral sciences, and that was also really helpful and really interesting because I was able to not only experience see the small liberal arts foundation of teaching, but also be able to immerse myself into a very different academic culture that London provides and the UK provides, where it's more academically rigorous from the very beginning. I was able to take a lot more mathematical courses to support my majors, and living in a city as like London, which is like hustling and bustling with a lot of talks and important like events happening. That was a really good experience to immerse myself into living in a big city, and experiencing life from a very different aspect of living abroad and studying abroad. So would definitely recommend that. LSE and Wheaton did change my life, and I am where I am today because of the experiences that I learned from both these from both these universities and colleges that I attended over the 4 years of my Wheaton and exchange journey. And uh, saying that, I just wanted to like leave by giving some advice about the future, just talking more about your next genius journey and what you should expect and what would be really helpful for you. And a few things I wanted to mention is network. Make sure that you're talking to people not only from Next Genius, from the vast scholars that Next Genius has already produced, but also network with the schools and colleges that you're interested in. I think it's very important and very like relevant that you are like connecting with them, asking you questions, because finding the right fit for you is really important. Knowing which school and university meets the needs of what you're looking for your future is really important. But along with that, also knowing the culture of how the students there are would be really helpful to see if to envision yourself in that environment. So I would highly recommend that you connect with the past scholars, to connect with the professors and ask them questions about the courses, talk to the schools and colleges to see if that is the right fit for you. And not only will that be helpful and beneficial as a foundation when you go to your schools and universities, but it'll also be helpful when you start the process of looking at your courses, but also in the future when you're applying to jobs, because once again, networking is a very big role, plays a very big role in postgraduate life, where you connect with the schools and you connect with the companies that you're looking for jobs in. So would highly recommend like just building the foundation of networking, like looking at how you feel comfortable connecting with people. Something that I do that is really helpful is just reaching out to people on LinkedIn, because now we have this great facility of being able to connect with anybody who might share the same interests as us. So I would recommend that you connect with people on LinkedIn, ask some questions. And some people are also open to having like a 20-minute informational session with you where you can ask questions and they can answer them for you. So if that is a possibility and you're able to connect with people on LinkedIn, that would be something I would recommend. Just shoot them a text, ask them if they'd be willing to talk to you for 20 minutes, answer your questions. And you'll be surprised, but most people are actually very, very open to having conversations and guiding people to the future. So would recommend talking about that. And yeah, just like be connected, like be aware of what's happening around you, be connected to next genius, like ask them what should be done in the future, and they'll be more than happy to help you with the process. And along with that, just enjoy the process, because like that's as I mentioned from the very beginning, when I started the process, when I went through my interviews and completed my next genius like journey, I didn't realize how majorly and drastically my life was going to change for the better. And here I am 5 years later, graduated from Wheaton College, and I'm working in Boston. And I get to work with researchers, and I get to work with companies of my dream, work for pharmaceutical companies, and do research in healthcare that meaningfully impacts my areas of interest. So things change, and you will be given opportunities that you didn't even realize existed, and doors will open for you one after the other that you didn't even realize were potentially doors for you. So things will just the journey just starts and it gets better from there, and all you have to do is trust the process and just to keep an open mind and be yourself through the process, and you'll be able to accomplish a lot more than you had thought for yourself. And I know that there many of you will be going through the interviews process of Next Genius as well. And my advice for that would be to make sure that you take some time to decide what the core values for you are, um, be it the school, like the courses that you want to do in the future, what you want your career to look like in the future, but also on a more personal level, what kind of a person do you want to be in the future? And I feel like having the holistic view of yourself and knowing what you want your future to look like, and what kind of person you want to be in the future really helps you kind of make guide you through the process of the interviews, because like questions and like suggestions would be made through that. So at least like when I was there. So make sure that you're holding true to yourself and answering the questions that you feel will be right for you as you're going through this process. So yeah, that covers up what I wanted to talk about today. And thank you so much, Kajol and Next Genius, for inviting me for just to speak about my experience. And yeah, good luck for everybody who is starting this process right now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gyana.
Yeah.
I must say it was so well crafted, that the way you shared your experience. I'm sure a lot of students who are thinking that whether we should register or not, this is a
Mhm.
story that should inspire you to register for this life-changing scholarship program. Now, I would like to invite another scholar that we have with us today, Adya Parida. She is our 2021 scholar to Syracuse University, to share her experience. Over to you, Adya.
Thank you so much, Kajol, for the introduction. And hello, everyone. I'm Adya, and I am the Next Genius Scholar to Syracuse University 2021. And currently, I'm in my junior year, which is my third year. And these 2 years have passed by, and it has been such a wonderful experience. So I would like to first tell you a little bit about what I do at Syracuse and how the journey has been so far. And then I'll talk about my Next Genius journey in particular. So, like I mentioned, currently I'm in my junior year. When I came here first in Syracuse, by the way, it's in upstate New York. In my freshman year, I got myself, like in terms of academics, I'm a computer science major and I've stuck with it ever since. I'm also, in my freshman year, I got involved in the South Asian Student Association on campus as their freshman representative. And I never thought that I would be able to get involved in research right from my freshman year as well. So in my spring semester, I started working for, and it wasn't even with a professor in my department, it was actually in a completely different college in Maxwell, which is our policy school. And this was a professor who was working in the sustainable development and economics department. So I was able to work with him for my for about a semester, and it was just like something that I did not imagine at all, because I did not have prior research experience to before um, coming to Syracuse. So that was really good. And so yeah, in my freshman year, I lived on campus, and we have a system called the Living Learning Community, where you live with different majors, like who have the same major as you. So all the engineering majors, we lived on the same floor, and we would do homework together, and that was just amazing. And I made a lot of friends through that. So it really helped me settle into the college life with my roommate, with other friends, and just to have that repo going with them. And then in my sophomore year, um, I took more like classes within my major, my core classes, and then I also switched my research project like over the summer, like the summer after my freshman year. I did a RDU with my school, which is a research experience for undergraduates, and within that, I was working with a professor in my department on a cybersecurity project, and that lasted for the whole summer. And along with that, I was also working on a different program, which is like a 6-week program called Invent at SU, which is a program that allows you to bring your idea to life and pitch it to venture capitalists and see if it's patentable, see how good it is. So I before coming here, I never saw myself as an inventor, but after doing that program, after our team actually won the competition at the end, so that really changed my perspective on who I am, or who I, could be, or what sort of opportunities are there. So like even now, through that program, I was able to bring like our invention, commercialize it. We have a thing called Blackstone Launchpad, which helps you bring your business idea to life, get funding for it, and establish yourself as a company. Basically, it helps you with your startup. So, and that's exactly what I'm doing even to this day. Like we have a pitching competition, in fact, today, and it's just a wonderful experience going and talking to um, like VCs, going and talking to getting their input. And that is something that I feel would not have been possible if I wasn't part of like Syracuse, because we have like, because Syracuse is a university, it's slightly bigger than liberal arts colleges in terms of like the number of people who go here. We have about like 15,000 people under, like 15,000 undergrad, and like in total, like we have about 20,000 students at a given time. So that makes the orange, we call it the Orange Alumni Network, and that makes it very, very big. And the one thing I love about Syracuse is that our alumni, no matter where they are, even if you like find them like randomly on the street and you tell them like you are also one of the Syracuse folks, they will instantly connect with you and they'll instantly try to help you out. So that bonding, that um, bond with the like the other alumni is super, super strong. Um, and then after my sophomore year, like after the summer research project and the invention program, in my sophomore year, I switched projects and I started working with another professor in economics department. I'm currently actually working with her on analyzing international trade agreements, and it's a more of like data analytics based project. Um, and aside from that, I'm also working as a resident advisor for the engineering building. So like the same community that I was part of, now I'm a resident advisor for that. And in fact, some of the like the next genius scholars to Syracuse who have come in this year are, some of them are my residents. So it's really cool to see that and support them to that way. They literally live like 3 or 4 doors down my room, so it's really nice. And we also like, in terms of social events, like we often go to a lot of the events together after classes and we have fun there, and it's just an amazing experience to just be able to support them and have fun at the same time and learn more about them. um and last summer, like after summer after my sophomore year, I interned in New York, in Manhattan, for the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, which is actually in the financial district on Wall Street. And that was something that was completely, completely unimaginable to me, because I remember visiting like the financial district in New York in a couple of years back. And I was like, when I was in school, and I would think, oh, wow, like these buildings, like, the people working there, it looks so like, different. And it's so like something that I never thought I would be a part of. But then here I was, working for the Fed in Wall Street, and that is something that's only been possible because of Syracuse and because of Next Genius. So that was possible, and now in my junior year, after my summer internship ended, like that was again a wonderful experience. But after my summer internship ended, now I'm in my junior year, and I've been able to do two really wonderful like trips or like conferences the as part of my journey here as well. Like last week, so I'm part of the Society of Women Engineers on campus. So like there are social organizations like I talked about, like there's SASA. I'm also part of the, like since I'm a dancer, I'm the part of the Desi Performance Club, and we go and do performances for like there's Diwali, there was Garba, there was international events that we do, like festivals and such. But there's also like professional organizations within your college that will help you a lot. For example, I'm part of the Society of Women Engineers. There's the Society of Asian Scientists and Engineers. And part of the beauty of these organizations is that they're all part of a national organization, and all of the national organizations hold their own conferences annually. So the Society of Women Engineers had their national conference last week, which was in Los Angeles, and the schools fully sponsored a trip for us, and we were able to go like a bunch of like 10 or 12 engineers in our department. We were all able to go for a fully sponsored trip there and network with other um, technologists and engineers working in the industry, gain their insight. There was a career fair, and the school completely prepared us for that, like with your resumes, with your interview skills, with your networking skills. Um, and another thing that I did last semester was an immersion trip, which is sponsored again through our department, where we went to Silicon Valley, like in San Francisco Bay Area, and we were able to go and talk to companies like Google, NetApp, Autodesk, and it was a very intimate experience because a lot of these companies have Syracuse alumni. So they came and talked to us and told us about their experience, gave us tips on how we can apply and work there potentially. So a lot of these professional experience, a lot of these social experience, like um, in terms of like the friendships I've made or the networking, I feel like has only been possible because of the opportunities that I've received through Syracuse and through Next Genius. And like Yana mentioned, like even after getting the funding, like the funding is one part, everything else, like the community that you get, um, like every step of the way, like literally I'm still in touch with the Next Genius team, which is why I love coming to these sessions and talking more about my journey, because I want like people to know like how, like the profound way in which it can change your life or it can impact your life, because the funding is just one aspect. It's the other professional experience, it's the other, like the social experience, it's the um like outside of, like, of course getting the scholarship is amazing, but outside of that, these other experience that will really really add to the value of your education here. So, and that is something that I feel like is only possible through a Next Genius experience, like not even like just studying abroad, but studying abroad with Next Genius, that is only possible to that. um and in terms of like, yeah, so currently I'm in my junior year right now, studying and also working um, on my research as a resident advisor. And also I hold a couple of positions on campus, like I mentioned, with SWE, um, and also like Women in Science and Engineering, and Society of Asian Scientists and Engineers. Um, and outside of that, so that's about my Syracuse journey. But I would also love to talk about how I got to know about Next Genius and my Next Genius journey. So I like it's very funny because I was on my Instagram, and I was scrolling through my feed, and Next Genius, like a post came up randomly. And at first I thought like it's not possible. It sounds too good to be true to get a full scholarship. But I clicked on it and I contacted. I remember talking to Radha ma'am about that, about Next Genius very first, like my very first time. And she told me about it and she told me to apply. This was sometime like before June, when where the application typically opens, like in June, July. And I talked to her. She recommended that I applied. I was considering studying abroad before, prior to this, particularly in the US. And Radha ma'am told me about Next Genius in more detail, about the colleges. Then I went to the website and I researched a little bit. I tried to see what college fits better with my major, and not only just my major, but also with the values or the culture or the location, or like everything matters, which is why it's really important that you look into the colleges, see what matches your interests, or see which fits best. Because there could be, it's possible that there might be a college that maybe is better in terms of your major, like the rankings, but it might not be a good fit for you in terms of, say, your location, or say the undergraduate class size or other things. So it's, I would highly recommend you research the colleges well in advance, before you choose a university, and don't just do it solely based on rankings, because trust me, once you get in these 4 years, it will depend a lot on how you fit into the university rather than the rankings. So if you can make the most of that, the rankings would matter as much in the end. So yeah, so I talked to her, and then once the application opened, I applied, and I remember there was a first initial like a online test that we had to do. And after that, once you get past that round, There will be interviews with the Next Genius team. There will be multiple interviews, and then also interviews with your college admission officers from your university. So yeah, one thing that really helped me, and I would also like advise you on during that process would be to, Yana also talked about this, but have like a sense of like a common theme around your application. And when I say that, I mean in your essays, like in your Common App essays, in your university specific essays, in your interviews, have a common like core value, like she talked about, like core value and a common theme that you want to showcase within your application. And once you have that, try to demonstrate how the extracurricular activities that you have done in your school, or how the courses or the other activities that you've been engaged in, how have that led to you um, demonstrating that common theme or demonstrating those common values. And if you can show that well to your interviewers and be your genuine self, I feel like that will go a long way. Like I often have people reaching out to me. By the way, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or email me or on even Instagram. And the one thing that I say to them is be your genuine self and try to demonstrate that quality in everything and have that common theme be demonstrated in your essays, interviews, everything. Um, so yeah, so there were multiple rounds of interviews, um, right? Like after I applied, and then also I had to submit my Common App application to Syracuse, and then submit your scores and everything, submit your transcripts, and like you'll have to work closely with your school counselor on this. And then once everything is done, you'll have your final like Next Genius interviews in sometime around January. And those are like the final interviews, and you will get to, and again, this entire process, even though it sounds like an interview, it will be more, it's very fun, it's interactive, and it's more of like a discussion, I would say. And even the interviews that I've had one-on-one with um, college like admission officers, they felt more like conversations. And I would say that if you have that perspective in your mind, that it's more about the other person trying to know more about you rather than trying to question you or grill you. If you have that perspective, it will help you a lot in answering your questions in a more genuine way or being more authentic. So yeah, those were the final interviews. I did that, and the next day we were told, like the results were announced a few days later. And that's how I got to know that I was chosen to go. And that day literally like changed my entire course of life up until this point. Um, and beyond this, like I plan to be like I try to be part of the community as much as I can. And even now, like we follow other scholars like on Instagram, on LinkedIn, try to stay in touch, see how they're doing, what courses they are taking, then I share what courses I'm taking. So it's a really good bond that we develop there. And even in the future, I plan to, like, I don't think I'll ever like I'm going to be part of this community like throughout my whole life, and try to help as much as I can, because this community helps me as much as they can. So yeah, so in your Next Genius journey, I would say if you're still considering, if you're still on the fence about if you should apply or not, I think you have a clear answer. Like, go ahead and apply. And like no harm in this. And even if you don't make it at the end, the process is itself will teach you a lot. So yeah, good luck.
Thank you so much, Adya, for sharing your experience as well. Good to know about a lot of things that you are doing at Syracuse. So everyone, you heard two scholars today from 300 scholars that have gone to USA on Next Genius Scholarship Program. How did they get to know about this scholarship? How it changed their lives? So if you are a student in grade 12, and if you are someone who's looking forward to studying abroad, this is the time that you should look at Next Genius. Now I would quickly like to share my screen to share what the program timeline is, so it becomes easy for you to apply to us and take this journey forward. So the first step is registration. We started in June and now November 14. I would like to emphasize on this date. November 14 is the last date to apply for the Next Genius Scholarship Program to register with us. Please visit our website next-genius.com to register, and then team will get in touch with you for the next steps. The next step you can see on the screen is profile and college selection. In this profiling and college selection, you share about your academic details, your financial details, your family details, the major that you would like to pursue, and you submit 2 videos to us. And the most important thing, you submit list of colleges to us where you would like to go. 5 choices of colleges where you would like to pursue your major. Once you submit this profiling and college selection form to us, we evaluate your entire profile and allocate one college to you where you fit the best and where you stand a chance of winning high amount of scholarship. Once you accept the college allocation, you move on to the college application. You do your Common App, submit the required documents, which team will let you know right beforehand you submit your application. We will handhold you through this entire process so that it becomes easy for you to manage your studies and this entire application process. January 1 is our application deadline. That means by this date, all the documents and your Common App should reach college. Then on January 19 and 20, next year, we will be conducting our group interviews. As Gyana and Adya spoke about their experience of interview, they are not typical interviews, but a chance to interact with admissions with your fellow students who are also competing for the same college. So you will be given either a topic to debate, discuss, or perform some activity. And on January 26th, you will get to know the results. We will be hosting a online award ceremony where you will get to know whether you have won a scholarship or not. The Next Genius Scholarship Program is for grade 12 and gap year students. Students from India, Nepal, and Bangladesh can apply to us. And students from these 3 countries studying anywhere else in the world can apply to us. The citizenship should be of India, Nepal, and Bangladesh. And yeah, that's all about Next Genius Scholarship Program. One more thing before I pass it over to our VP of Next Genius Scholarship Program. The Next Genius is a non-binding scholarship program. That means you are free to apply to any other college in any country you would like to, even if you are in this process. And even if you win a full tuition or partial tuition scholarship, you will have time to decide whether you want to enroll or not. So I would recommend all of you here in the audience who are in grade 12, please take a step forward, make a move today, and register for the Next Genius Scholarship Program. Yes, over to you, Devish sir.
Thank you, Kajol, and thanks, Gyana and Adya, for sharing your stories with us. It's great to have you here today and present for the scholarship program, and we are proud to have you as our scholars. So I've been with the Next Genius Scholarship Program for the last 8 years, since the beginning of the program. And as both Gyana and Adya said, I'll also just say one thing to all the grade 12 students here today, that this is a fantastic opportunity and there is nothing to lose. So give it a shot. Kajol just shared how you can register and apply. It's a very, very simple process. It's a straightforward process. You can simply apply to us for our scholarships on our website. All the colleges that are there, all the colleges where you can win a scholarship, these are colleges that change lives. What that means is that you can really win these scholarships, and eventually when you graduate, you will completely turn around your whole personality and you will become a much more confident, successful individual. You just heard Gyana's story. Adya is on the same journey now. And these are just 2 of the 300 stories, 300 scholars, 300 individuals who have won our scholarships, and all of them are doing fantastically in their lives. Yeah. So I would just say that go ahead, apply, and benefit from this extraordinary and life-changing opportunity. And I'm sure many of you who are on this call will end up going ahead in the process, and hopefully we'll meet in the interviews. Yeah. So we are almost coming towards the end of the session. So I'll just turn it back to Kajol. And Kajol, over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Before we open our session for Q&A, I would like to make a surprise announcement that we are celebrating our Scholars Day on Saturday and Sunday, November 4th and 5th. Right from today evening, we are going to do this. We are going to give you this opportunity to register by just paying half of the registration fees. So now you can visit our website after this session in an hour, and you will be able to register just by paying half of the registration fees. I can show you how you can visit and do the process. Give me a moment. So this is our Next Genius's website. Visit, click on apply now. And as you can see, the registration fees has been reduced to half of the price. And you have to just pay, fill this form, and you will take the first step forward to your journey. So yeah, please make a move today and register for this life-changing opportunity. Now we are open to Q&A. Please feel free to ask any question that you have, and we'll be happy to answer. Thank you so much once again, Gyana and Adya, for being here and sharing two kind of stories, one of a graduate and one who is still in on campus in the university and living that experience. So yes, as I mentioned, we have one question that whether this is just for grade 12 or gap year students can apply. Gap year students can apply to us. You can visit our website and can follow the same process. No, grade 11 students cannot apply. Only students in grade 12 or who have cleared their grade 12 can apply for the scholarship program. Any questions related to the application process, the registration process, feel free to ask. Okay, we have one question: in which city interviews will be conducted? The entire process is online. Right from registration until interviews to the award ceremony, everything happens online. You do not have to travel anywhere. You can do this entire process by sitting in your house, from comfort of your home. So you do not have to travel. So the process for Next Genius is once you register and fill and submit your profiling and college selection form, we allocate you one college from the 5 colleges that you will give to us. We have a training video, a tutorial video on how to fill this form. Once you will be registering with us, we will be forwarding that resource to you. And once you get the college allocation from those 5, then you add that college to your Common App. So through Next Genius, you get a chance to interview for one college from the 5 that you give to us. So first you have to register with us, get your college allocation, then add to Common App, and then do the application. The college will be notified that you are a Next Genius applicant. So there's one question that, do we have to submit our English proficiency scores? Yes, it is recommended to submit your English proficiency scores to the colleges because it adds an element to your application. It enhances your application. So if you have taken any of the English proficiency test, that is IELTS or TOEFL or Duolingo English test, and if you feel the scores are great, please go ahead and submit. Also, I would like to mention one more thing. Most of our colleges are test optional. So if you are someone who has not taken SAT or ACT, you can still apply to us and it won't affect your application negatively. We are here for next 2 to 3 minutes. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. If you have any questions for maybe Gyana or Adya, even they'll be happy to take it up. Okay, I think so. There are no more questions, and everybody has got how to apply. And I'm sure, and I look forward to having you all register for the program and helping you in this journey ahead. Once again, thank you so much, Gyana, Adya, Team Next Genius, for helping organize this webinar for these students. Have a good evening and have a happy weekend. Thank you so much, everyone.